Hey guys, happy Saturday. It's Joe. It's time for Pocket with Joe. I'm excited to be here today. We have 13 games on the board. We're going to move fast today. I want to say congratulations to everyone who rode with the dogs yesterday. All the dogs getting the straight out win. It was a great day to make some freaking money on the ice. Let's make some more money on the ice today. I want to give a big shout out to everyone, no matter where you're watching: YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. If you're watching on TikTok, remember, really hard for me to see those comments, so come on over to YouTube. The link is in the bio. Big shout out to everyone already watching and joining me here. Ben, shout out to you. Let's jump into these games today. Let's try to make some money. I don't have any props. There's a couple goalie props that I'm liking. If we get these goalies confirmed today, so we will be talking about those, but otherwise, no props today, you guys, except for, we got to hit Brady Tkachuk and Matthew Tkachuk. We know they've been making us nonstop money so far. Let's jump into these games. The first game does kick off here at the top of the hour. I know there's so much going on with football, so if you want to get this bet in between the Anaheim Ducks and the Minnesota Wild, I think this is a tricky game. Both these teams spending way too much time in the penalty box. The Wild should dominate in this one. I just need them to stay out of that box. They're coming in here at minus 295. So huge here on the money line. We can't do anything straight up on the money line. This total has jumped down, not jumped up. It's jumped down to 6 from 6.5. What I think the best way to take this one is, who is going to score the goals in this game? Can we trust the Anaheim Ducks to score here? Well, I do think they possibly could get one. I do think the best way to look at this game is to take the Minnesota Wild and take their team total. We've got a team total for them at 3.5. Hitting it over is juiced at minus 130, but I don't like the full game over because I worry about the Ducks' ability to get these goals. Now, they've lost their last 4 games. We saw them get completely steamrolled and dominated by the Stars. The Stars got the shutout in that one. That was a 5-0 loss for the Ducks. They also lost to the Predators. So in this one, with how terrible they have played in Minnesota, there's nothing I can do with the Ducks here. And even on that puck line, not loving the value on the Wild. I think the team total over 3.5 is the only way I could bet this one. They have the stronger power play, the stronger penalty kill. They've come in and they've won. They just won over Edmonton. It was a 5-3 win. I could see them getting these goals. John Gibson expected in goal for the Ducks as well. The Flyers, Amanda, we're going to talk about that. Definitely one that I'm grabbing on that puck line, just to let you know. Top of the morning to you as well, Danny. And thank you, Matt. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here every day with me. So if you're looking to get that bet in between the Wild and the Ducks, the only way I could take it would be the Wild's team total. Like I said, it is juice there at minus 130. Do yourself a favor, go over to Betstamp, type in your browser Betstamp.app. The link is below this video, or will be after I'm done. Use referral code Madden. You can see all the lines on all the books over there. You always want to get your best value. Even if you can get this at minus 125 instead of minus 130, you definitely want to get those 5 points. So the next game, the Montreal Canadiens and the Edmonton Oilers. Now, this kicks off at 7 o'clock Eastern. We got a total of 6.5. I'm going to tell you guys right away, I am loving the dogs on the puck line with sprinkles on the money line today. Montreal, you saw what they did to the Calgary Flames. Montreal has their teams that they can beat. So off the top of my head, right away, you think of Calgary, Edmonton, and Toronto. We've made money cashing on Montreal playing Toronto this year, and we made money just the other night on Thursday, cashing on Montreal playing Calgary. I am a little concerned with them here to get the straight up win just because of this West Coast road trip is such a hard one. They've been off since Thursday. They played Calgary. They've headed up to Edmonton. The weather is freaking freezing here. I'm going to tell you guys, it's like minus 25 outside before wind chill. Montreal's used to this bad weather though, but just that travel and everything. I do think they keep this one tight though. I'm going to grab them plus 1.5 on that puck line. We're still getting value here. I believe it's around minus 113. And then I'm going to sprinkle that money line because I will be kicking myself if I don't just fade Edmonton for pure principle. Plus, we just look at how strong Montreal has been versus Edmonton. They have won 4 of the last 5 meetings in Edmonton. The underdog is a 20-9 in those last 29 meetings, and the road team is 5-0 in the last 5 meetings. Now, we look at Edmonton too, and another reason I couldn't take Edmonton to cover the puck line today is in their last 5 games as a favorite. They've failed to cover that puck line. So taking the Montreal Canadiens here plus that 1.5 is a really solid way to take this. And Edmonton versus winning teams, which who would have thought Montreal would be sitting in a spot where we would call them a winning team at this point in the season. But Edmonton versus teams that have been winning on the season are 1-6 in their last 7. So give me the Montreal Canadiens here on that puck line with a sprinkle on the money line. I also like their team total because I do think this is a higher scoring one. I think we can hit that over 6.5 in this. And then their team total is 2.5. So taking that team total over 2.5 is minus 110. And I think it's a strong way to go. Skinner is confirmed though for the Edmonton Oilers. He could be the difference maker here, because I think he's a way better goalie than Jack Campbell. But what we've seen out of Edmonton is the same old problem we've had year in and year out. This defense isn't giving their goaltending enough support. So I do think Montreal is going to score. I can really see Montreal scoring 3 goals in this one. And with how bad Edmonton has played versus Montreal, they're coming home off a short road trip too. This is a perfect situation to fade Edmonton and take the Montreal Canadiens. I know Hab fans out there will be excited if they get this road trip done between Calgary and Edmonton. So hard for teams to do, getting those 2 wins in a row. We've seen it happen. Well, the Sabres did it this season. I think Vegas did it as well. So great spot here for the Montreal Canadiens. Okay, next game on the board. This game, okay, I'm going to tell you right away. This game isn't sitting well with me. We have the Colorado Avalanche and the Boston Bruins. We got minus 170 for the Boston Bruins, plus 140 for the Colorado Avalanche. Now, these 2 teams play today. Today is Saturday. They do have some games in between, but they play again on Wednesday in Colorado. Now, Swarman is expected in goal for the Boston Bruins. He's got a 2.6 goals against average. And Francois confirmed for the Colorado Avalanche. He has a 2.7. How can you step in front of the Boston Bruins here at home? They've won their last 22 games as a favorite and their last 20 at home. They're 19-3 on the season, 17-5 on that puck line. This team has absolutely been dominated in their last 10 games following a win. They've covered the puck line in every single one. So there is so many great reasons here why to take Boston. I can't get behind them on that money line at minus 170. This is where my problem is. If this was a better value, I could get behind them just for that straight up win. But we look at how strong Colorado has played in Boston, and it's not pretty for the Boston Bruins. They've gone 11-2 in those last 13 meetings in Boston. They're off a win, but they're off a win to the Buffalo Sabres. We know the Buffalo Sabres have been struggling as of late. The Colorado Avalanche come in here with the best power play overall in the league, but the Boston Bruins, the second best power play and the second best penalty kill. Both of these teams are going to be battling this one out. This total is set at 6. Now, I do lean to the under for the full game, but we have Francois and Swarman in. I think in this one, with these backup goalies in this situation, in that first period, both teams score. They score early. They stress us the hell out on that under for the full game, but those 2 goals come in the first period. I'm going to take both teams to score in the first period. You guys know I search for plus money. It's at plus 162. I just think when you see this change in and out of the goalies, both having their second string goalie here, which are both incredible. Francois coming in with a 2.7 and Swarman with a 2.6. We can see just a little bit of miscommunication. And I think that will come in fast in this one because we know these offenses are completely dominating. Boston averaging 3.95 goals per game, which is first overall in the league, 34.3 shots on goal. And we have the Colorado Avalanche averaging 3.3 and 33.2 shots on goal. So give me both teams to score in that first period with that plus money. I would be looking completely at the under, though, for this game. I think the goals come in hard and fast, and then defenses really step up. Yeah, the books totally got it wrong yesterday with Igor Shesterkin's saved shots on goal. I'm not sure why. That was one of those games where you see a number like that and you're like, what the heck is going on? Who punched this in wrong? And in those situations, you do have to capitalize on it. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing you guys, some people riding the Avs, some people riding the Bruins here. I'm not taking a side, you guys. This one just doesn't sit right. I don't want to step in front of the Boston Bruins here at home, but you definitely can see a reason why. So I wish you guys all the best, whoever you take sidewise in that. Now, the next game, we have the New Jersey Devils taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. I can't remember who brought up this game, but this is going to be an interesting one. The Devils have completely struggled in Philadelphia. Now, they're coming in as such a large favorite at minus a 230 here, plus 188 for the Philadelphia Flyers. I got to take the Flyers right away on that puck line at plus 1.5. It's juiced again, you guys, so shop those lines over at Betstamp. It's minus 132 here. The best value I can find. Now, the Flyers did just win this matchup in October. So not just, I can't believe it's already what? December 3rd. Happy December 3rd, by the way, you guys. They won this matchup 5-2. So it was a big win for the Philadelphia Flyers. We know Carter Hart has had such extremely fantastic games. I love what we've seen out of him. Now, Vanek expected in goal for the New Jersey Devils. We love this Devils team. This Devils team has been making us so much money. Hitting their team total over 3.5 has completely cashed for us. They're averaging that 3.78 and 36.4 shots on goal. They're winning and completely dominating the face-off battle. Their defense is only allowing 2.22 and 26.3 shots on goal. Second overall in both. And we look at the Flyers. Offensively, this team isn't stepping up. Their defense is just relying on Carter Hart to make these stops, and they're letting him get berated with these shots, allowing that 32.7. The Flyers have lost 11 of their last 12 games. I think this one just sort of sits tight here. I could see this being a higher scoring game, which I don't love because I love the goaltending in this. But if the Flyers are to keep it tight, it's because their offense has stepped up in this one and got some goals in it. I just keep looking at that stat with the Devils in Philadelphia. We know the Devils have been defying these odds, going 1-4 in their last 5 meetings in Philadelphia, but they have changed some of these scripts this season. So while I like the Flyers here, plus 1.5 at minus 132. This isn't one that I'm running to the window with. Just if I had to bet it, that's exactly where I'm going with this. So it's not making my premium bets today. I love that you had such a good day yesterday. That makes me really happy to hear. Okay, let's move on to the next one here. Yeah, and the over, the trends towards that over, 7-1 in the last 10 meetings and 4-1 in the last 6 meetings in Philadelphia. So I can see this one going over with this total of 6. We know the New Jersey Devils normally can get 4 goals on their own, averaging that 3.78. So I could see this one squeaking over that total, being a 4-3 win here for the Devils. Okay, next game on the board. We got the San Jose Sharks. Sorry, I keep eating my hair today. I don't know what is going on. That's what I'm doing there. Okay, We got the San Jose Sharks taking on San Jose Sharks aren't taking on the Ducks. They're taking on the Ottawa Senators. Now, the Ottawa Senators are rolling in here at minus 138 on that money line, plus 115 for the Sharks and total 6. Now, I've heard a lot of people saying the Sharks are rested. The Sharks are coming in here. The Sens are off that hard win over the New York Rangers. We got it last night, you guys. I tell you, everyone who live bet again, the Ottawa Senators, if you guys aren't part of my dub club, I threw that out to my clients as soon as the Rangers went up. Bet the Sens again, because that game was just the Senators to win last night. When you look at the Senators team, Brady Tkachuk got his 300th goal last night. It was a phenomenal win for them. It was a hard one. Everyone's thinking off that hard win, traveling home last night, which you're right, they were in New York, now had to go back to Ottawa, and the Sharks already there preparing that the Senators are going to fall flat on their face. I don't see it. I see it firing this team, igniting this team. Forsberg is expected in goal today. He's got a 3.43 goals against average. And this Sharks team, you know, they won this battle back on November 21st. I believe it was a 5-1 win for the San Jose Sharks. I can't see them beating the Ottawa Senators again. This Ottawa Senators team, defense is what is letting them down. But with Forsberg in goal, I have more confidence in this team. They're averaging that 3.05 goals per game and 33.6 shots on goal. We look at the Sharks. They're not even on the same level offensively, averaging under 3 goals per game and only 29.5 shots on goal. So I'm going to take Ottawa here. I know they have struggled at home. I'm seeing your comments come in there. They're 5-7 right now at home. They've faced a lot harder of opponents at home. The home team between these two has gone 7-2 in the last 9 meetings. And the Sharks have completely struggled in Ottawa, only winning 2 of their last 7 meetings in Ottawa. And they haven't covered the puck line in their last 7 games in Ottawa. So not only am I going to take the Senators here on the money line at -1, what are we getting? -138. I'm also going to grab them on this puck line at -1.5 at +180, because I'm going to go big or go home on the Sens team in this game. I think they come out and they dominate this one. I think they win this one easily, a 6-3 style game here. I think the goals come in long, hard, and fast. We know the Sens are giving up these goals as well. So give me the Ottawa Senators on that puck line. I love it tonight. +180. I can't say no. I think momentum rolls with this team. Okay, next game on the board. That is one of my premiums, you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys can tell which are my premiums. I get pretty excited about these, and yeah, it's going to be good. Let's move on to the next one. The St. Louis Blues are taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, the Blues are one of these interesting teams. We won money with them in their loss the other night versus the Carolina Hurricanes. They won that first period. This is where we got to look at them again. They come out so strong out of the gate, and they can't keep momentum going. So I'm going to take the St. Louis Blues in the first period only. You're getting some plus money in the first period. And then I'm staying off the rest of this game. We got Jordan Binnington in goal for the St. Louis Blues. I do trust in him. He's got a 3.05 goals against average. This team just isn't really finding their groove offensively, only averaging that 2.82. And defensively, they're allowing these goals to come in. I'm looking for their defense to really step up in this one versus the Penguins. The Penguins offensively are averaging that 3.9 or 3.9 goals per game and 33 shots on goal. We will see these shots coming in hard and fast on Binnington, but we know Binnington is able to really step up. So just give me the Blues in the first period. We look at the Penguins. They have completely struggled at home. They're 2-5 in their last 7 games, but the Blues have struggled overall as well, going 1-4 in their last 5 and 2-7 in their last, or 2-5 in their last 7 versus the Pittsburgh Penguins here. While the road team has covered the puck line in each of the Penguins' last 9 home games, there's no value here taking the St. Louis Blues at +1.5. We get nothing. So I am looking for this to be a tight one. I think it comes down to a coin flip at the end. I'm not willing to put that coin flip on the St. Louis Blues, but I will put it on that first period. I think that's where they come out the best. Tristan Jarry expected for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and we know how strong he has been this year. The next game on the board, you guys, with the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, Toronto has won their last 5, so it's getting to a point of, when do we fade this team? Because Toronto has such a hard time stringing together wins. We all know the storyline behind them here, winning their last 5, but Matt Murray is expected in goal tonight, which is definitely a good thing for them. He's got a 2.43 goals against average. Toronto coming in here at plus 104, minus 125 for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and this total has dropped from 6.5 down to 6. Andrei Vasilevskiy expected for the Tampa Bay Lightning. We know how phenomenal he has been. Not as good this season so far as we saw him last, but he's starting to get his groove back. He's got a 2.88 goals against average. Now, both of these teams so strong in their own right offensively. We've got Toronto really strong, winning those faceoffs, averaging just over 3 goals per game and 30.5 shots on goal. Tampa Bay Lightning averaging that 3.45. They are firing on net, and they're getting a lot of these high danger shots in that net. And they got the 4th best overall power play. Now, defensively, Toronto wins this matchup defensively. They're holding opponents to only 2.48 goals per game and 28.8 shots on goal, while the Tampa Bay Lightning are giving up these shots at 31 and 3.18 goals per game. Now, defense really needs to step up for Andrei Vasilevskiy, because I said he still isn't the same goalie as he was last season. Even though he's still at 2.88, I want to see him really have that standout game where we're like, Andrei Vasilevskiy is back to form. Just haven't seen it yet. Now, this one is a hard game. While I do trust in the goaltending here and the Toronto Maple Leafs defense, I do think with this number sitting at 6, I can't hit it under. We know how explosive players like Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs should be. I think this is one of those games where the Leafs offense really opens up. I think with the strong, powerful offense of the Tampa Bay Lightning, they get more goals than Toronto normally would allow. So give me the over 6 in this. I'm not picking a side in this one. It's going to be a tough game for sure. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Detroit Red Wings. We're moving on games, you guys. This game kicks off at 7 o'clock Eastern as well. All these games are pretty much on at the same time. We've got Vegas rolling in here at minus 150, plus 125 for the Red Wings. Now, we've seen Vegas kind of just go through the motions as of late. They really haven't been playing explosive games, but I do have faith in this team to come out and get the win here today over the Detroit Red Wings. Logan Thompson is expected in goal. We know how phenomenal he is. He's 12-4 on the season with a 2.44 goals against average. And then Ville Husso for the Red Wings. He's got a 2.59 goals against average. What I think we're going to see here is Vegas's defense really be the difference maker and their goaltending be the difference maker in this match. I've been talking too much soccer saying match in this game. Vegas did just win on November 18th. It was a 5-2 win. And I think we see the same sort of thing. I'm going to grab Vegas here on that money line at minus 150, but you guys know I'm hitting them also on that puck line at minus 1.5. I think that was plus 170, plus 175 earlier this morning. So grab that now. We look at Vegas versus the Eastern Conference. So phenomenally strong, going 9-1 in their last 10 versus the Eastern Conference, and just dominating on the road, going 8-2 in their last 10 road games. Now, when we look at Detroit, they're hitting the road again tomorrow for a 4-game road trip. They've lost their last 2 games. So I think this is kind of one of those situations where you got to look at that human factor. They're hitting the road right away. They're not winning at home. I think they need to get out of this funk. I think they need to get on the road before they're going to be able to pull off a win. Now, They have come into this one off of overtime, and they lost their last 10 games at home following overtime. They also failed to cover the puck line as a home underdog in their last 5 games following that overtime as well. So I think this is a really good opportunity to get some great plus money with the Vegas Golden Knights here on the road for them to really play one of those games where we look at them and say, this team is legit. This team, if stays healthy, really has the best opportunity to take the Pacific here. So give me Vegas for the nice big win. Yeah, Jordan, if you're looking at goal scorers, I definitely would be looking at both Connor McDavid of the Edmonton Oilers and Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs. These are 2 games. Both of those games, I do like the overs in. I think we've got high scoring affairs in both of those. And we know how much firepower both of those 2 players do have for both teams. I'd also be looking at Matthew and Brady Tkachuk, both of those 2, the brothers, Matthew with the Panthers and Brady with the Senators, both just playing phenomenal hockey at the moment, getting these goals coming in like crazy. Okay, the next game on the board, you guys, we have what? We have 5 left. We got a lot of games to go over today. We have the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the New York Rangers. Chicago coming in here at plus 205. The Rangers minus 255. The Blackhawks. Gonna grab them here on the puck line, plus 1.5 at minus 118. I told you guys my picks today probably won't be popular. No one loves taking these big dogs on the puck line ever. It seems like I get so much heat for taking these dogs on that puck line, but these dogs in a lot of these situations are barking. They have covered the puck line in their last 6 games in New York. And now, while we looked at the Senators, and everyone's saying the Senators are going to be tired from traveling home off of that hard win over the Rangers, we got to look at the Rangers side of that. I think that isn't true for the Sens. I think they roll with momentum. I think the Rangers are in that letdown spot. Off that hard-fought battle, they lost to the Senators, which, it gets in these players' heads. They lost to not a great team. Now they're facing not a great team here. And I think the Blackhawks keep it tight with them. I'm going to take the Blackhawks plus the 1.5. Halleck expected in goal for the New York Rangers. We've got Peter Marzell confirmed, I believe, for Chicago Blackhawks. We know he's not at the same level as Halleck, but we look at the Chicago Blackhawks. They have the best overall face-off in the league. They are winning these battles. And when we look at their defense, yes, they're allowing these shots to come in, but they're covering the puck line. They're 12-10 on the puck line overall, 5-4 on that puck line on the road. The New York Rangers, 8-17 on the puck line and 3-10 on the puck line at home. I can't trust the Rangers to get a big win here. You can't bet them on the money line. There is absolutely no value. I'm not sprinkling on the Blackhawks for the straight up win, but I'm going to take them plus the 1.5 to keep it tight. Yeah, and that's all I like for that game. So we got a total. It's dropped from 6.5 to 6. This is going to depend on the goaltending here. I would love it to stay under because I have a better chance of winning the Blackhawks plus 1.5 if it stays under that number. Okay. The Arizona Coyotes and the Vancouver Canucks. Now, Spencer Martin is expected for the Vancouver Canucks. You guys know I don't love betting with Vancouver. I just got a chip on my shoulder about Vancouver. But I think Vancouver gets it done, and they get it done big here at home. I'm going to take them. This is like one of the only favorites I like on that puck line. Laying that 1.5 at plus 114 today. I think they have a nice win over the Arizona Coyotes. The Coyotes just have not been playing solid. They have their teams that they beat. This is not one of those teams. They've only won 1 of the last 5 meetings versus the Vancouver Canucks. They're 1-7 in their last 8 road games, and they're 26-1 in their last 39 meetings in Vancouver. I think this is a nice one for Vancouver to kind of just get back on track. They've lost their last 2 games. The last time they played the Arizona Coyotes was last April. They got a huge blow win there at 7-1 over the Arizona Coyotes. I think this is one where they have a nice game here. Now, they are coming in not with a good home record at the moment, losing 4 of their last 5 games. So I do think a better way to take this one is to look at that over. My only concern with the over is Spencer Martin has had such glimpses of such high caliber goaltending. He's got a 3.23 goals against average, though. And we see the Arizona Coyotes only averaging that 2.7. So I do lean on that over 6, and I do lean on Vancouver to get the big win on the puck line. You can't take them straight up here on the money line. It's just not any value there for you guys. So not a game that I absolutely love, but that's where I'd be betting it if I was betting that one. Okay, let's move on to one that is really interesting. The Florida Panthers taking on the Seattle Kraken. Now, the Panthers are rolling in here at -118. The Seattle Kraken, -102 here at home. They've won their last 7 games. They're sitting second in the Pacific right now. Biggest surprise to most people is the Seattle Kraken's team. They had a comeback win. They frightened us. They made us completely sweat in their last game versus the Capitals. We were riding the Kraken. We said, release the Kraken like 100 times. Washington got up fast in that one, but Seattle was able to dig back. That was a 3-2 win. My concern here for the Kraken is Spencer Knight of the Florida Panthers. He plays so elite. His goals against average of 2.74 truly does not represent the talent that he has. I have seen him in certain games and situations where he has played some of the best goaltending I have seen. We saw him versus Edmonton, and absolutely, he came out so phenomenal. The Panthers did lose to Edmonton, but I couldn't believe what we saw out of Spencer Knight in that one. Now, with the Seattle Kraken, they're averaging that 3.82 goals per game. So they're really getting these goals, but they're not getting a lot of shots. They are being held to that 29.1. So the goals that they're getting are really counting. Florida Panthers, on the other hand, pretty different story. They're getting the most shots on goal overall in the league at 39.4. Martin Jones is confirmed, I believe, for the Seattle Kraken. He's got a 2.9 goals against average. This is going to be a battle between these goaltenders. This is the one that I want to look at these save shots on goal for both of them tonight. And I just want to see if they've come up, if we've got confirmations of either of these goalies, because I think this is the best way to take this game. I love what we've seen out of the Panthers, and I love what we've seen out of the Kraken. We still don't have goaltenders confirmed in this one. So it's going to be a hard one. We're going to come back to this game at the end of the show. This is one where you can look at Matthew Tkachuk for his shots on goal. We know he's been dominating there. When we look at the Seattle Kraken, they have covered the puck line as a dog in their last 10. There's absolutely no value. They're only -102 here as a dog and -118 for the Florida Panthers. I think this total of 6.5 is interesting. Both of these defenses giving up the goals. But again, if Spencer Knight and Martin Jones both stand on their heads, like we know they're quite capable of, this one stays under that total, no matter how hard these offenses work. We've got the Florida Panthers allowing 3.48 and 31.7 shots on goal. Seattle Kraken doing a little bit better at that 3.09 and 27.6. So they are limiting these shots on goal. So I'm really interested to see. Hopefully by the end of this show, and if not, you guys, below this YouTube video, I will post once we get confirmation. This game isn't till 10 o'clock Eastern tonight. So once we get confirmation, come back, have a look below my YouTube video for what I'm doing in this one. The next game pains me so much to talk about. You know it. We're talking the Washington Capitals versus my Calgary Flames. Now, Calgary off that loss to the to the Montreal Canadiens. We knew this was coming. Montreal owns Calgary. But guess who else owns Calgary? The Washington Capitals. It is so unfair for us to have these two teams back to back. We see the Caps coming in here off that loss in overtime on Thursday to the Seattle Kraken that we were just talking about. They got up in that one, let it go. The underdog between these two has gone 7-1 in the last 8 meetings. The Capitals 6-1 in the last 7 meetings. 6-1 in the last 7 meetings in Calgary. Our only hope here for the Calgary Flames to beat the Capitals is looking at the Capitals on that 1 day's rest. They kind of struggle in this situation, going 1-5 in their last 6 games, playing on 1 day's rest. But my Flames are 1-4 in their last 5 overall. They're 1-6 in their last 7 versus the Met. Capitals have covered the puck line in their last 7 in Calgary. No value on that puck line. Kemper expected here for the Washington Capitals. He's got a 2.5 goals against average. Dan Vladar confirmed for Calgary with a 2.7. Maybe we can prop bet this one. I'm not in love with this game. Calgary has not been stepping up offensively like we've seen. Now, either have the Washington Capitals. They've only got a 2.79 goals on average per game and 30.1 shots on goal. Calgary's getting these shots, but they're just not finding the back of the net. They're averaging that 34.3. Now, when we look at the defenses, Calgary is limiting the shots of their opponents, holding opponents to 28.7, but they're still allowing these goals to come in at 3.14. Washington's still allowing over those 3 as well at 3.04 and 31 shots on goal. With this total of 6, you guys, even though these two teams trend to the over, and we know how easy it is for Calgary games if all of a sudden they're firing and clicking on the ice or getting that smooth puck movement to go over that total. I don't see it happening tonight. I think with the level of goaltending between Kemper and Dan the Man Vladar coming in here, we stay under that number. But I do caution you guys, the over is 5-2 in those last 7 meetings. But the Capitals trending nicely to that under, going 6-0 in their last 6 games to the under, and the Calgary Flames 4-1 in their last 5 games to the under. So it's going to be a hard one, you guys. I want Calgary to win. No value on Calgary here at -162. And with what we've seen out of them offensively, I can't trust them here on that puck line against Washington, who has been playing extremely well. So look there for the under to come in. I'm going to look quickly because we do have Dan Vladar confirmed what his save shots on goal is tonight. You guys, let me know how your Saturday is going. Also, which college football games you're watching today. I can't wait to get my TV on. Not going to lie here. Okay, so we have Dan Vladar coming in. He has a save shots on goal at 25.5. This is sitting even at -112 on my book for both the over and under. So not juiced to either side of that total. We see the Washington Capitals averaging 30.1 shots on goal, but Calgary being able to hold their opponents to 28.7. Dan Vladar should have a phenomenal night here. He's only allowing that 2.7 goals per game. My question is, will the Washington Capitals get enough shots on goal for him to save over this 25.5? And I do think it is quite possible. I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to mull it over as we talk over all of these other things, you guys. And we'll come back to it at the end, I promise. Okay. One more game on the board. Thankfully, we've made it through. I want to thank everyone who has been holding steady with me for the last 38 minutes. If you're not holding steady, don't worry. The recap is coming up at the end of the show. So if you need to go get a coffee, you're not going to miss anything. Well, you're going to miss me talking a lot, but I will recap it if you just want the bets. Okay. Last game, the Carolina Hurricanes and the LA Kings. We got Ranta expected here for the Carolina Hurricanes. He's got a 2.47 goals against average. And Jonathan Quick here for the LA Kings. He's got a 3.3. You all hear me every day say, I think Jonathan Quick is a better goalie than his numbers represent. I need him to start proving that right for everyone. Now, I think there is value on the LA Kings here as the home dog at +106. They just won to the Coyotes. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. It was over the Coyotes 5-3. But I think it's time for the LA Kings to start showing us why. They are third in the Pacific. It's not out of fluke. This team is solid. They are strong offensively. So strong, averaging that 3.36 goals per game and 32.4 shots on goal. The problem here is defensively and goaltending-wise, this team has allowed some games to go terribly wrong. And in other games, they've held opponents and got the shutout. So we need them to play more consistent, this Kings team. They're allowing that average of 3.6 and 29.7 shots on goal. So they are limiting those shots. Jonathan Quick, I need to step up. Ronta is the better goalie in this situation. And the Carolina Hurricanes just getting more shots. So if Quick doesn't perform how I've talked him up and how I've expected him to perform this season, then the Hurricanes are coming in here and they're winning this. But I don't think it happens. I think we got to ride with the Kings here. The Kings, notoriously well on a Saturday at home. They've won their last 11 games at home on a Saturday. I don't know what it is with this team with playing on a Saturday, 10:30 Eastern game here as well for them. Now, we see the Canes, they're off that nice win over the Blues on Thursday. That was a 6-2 win. They got down in that first period and fought their way back. So the Canes are playing solid hockey. They're getting these shots on goal at 35.4, but their goals really, the puck's really not connecting with that goal, only averaging that 2.7. So I think the Canes have the advantage here, the Kings have the advantage here, although the Canes defense really is going to come out solid in this one. They're going to limit the Kings' ability to get these shots on goal. They're holding opponents to 26.1, which is first overall in the league. So they have been doing such a strong job at that. The Canes also have won their last 5 games versus the Kings. So this is going to be a hard one, but I got to take the home dog in this situation. The Canes coming in off 1 day's rest is not good for them. They're 1-4 in those last 5 games playing on 1 day's rest. And when the Hurricanes roll into LA to play the Kings, they've gone 4-10 in the last 14 meetings. So give me the Kings to stop making me look like an idiot for betting them, to come out and get this win here. Now, if they get this win, I honestly think it's because goaltending and defense steps up in this one. I could see it being that lower scoring. So I would lean to a lower scoring game for the Kings to come out and get the win. But like I've said, the Kings are a hard team to bet these totals with their inconsistency defensively, because they can go one way or the other and blow it. So I'm not going to put 2 bets on this game. I'm just going to take the Kings with that plus money. Okay, you guys, yes, I do have a great record at home. They're 7-4-2 at home this season, 14-12 overall on that puck line, and 5-8 on the puck line at home. We look at the Canes; they've gone 8-3-4 on the season on the road, 7-8 on that puck line on the road. This is going to be a battle tonight. I'm excited for it, you guys. I really hope the Kings can pull it out, and Jonathan Quick has a phenomenal game in this one. Okay, I see all of your messages. Yeah, you rode with the Canes in that one for sure. They have been playing a solid. Okay, you guys, let's recap these. And then it's time to enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I've got so many bets out today, you guys. I've got 4 in college football, 2 in college basketball, 3 on the ice. I don't even want to start adding up how much money I got out there right now. Going to be sweating at any second. Okay, let's do the recap. Let me have a sip of coffee first. How's everyone's Saturday going, though? Let me know. Let me know what you're up to today. I've got to get a Christmas tree this weekend. I've also got to take my daughter to the mall, which is never fun. Actually, it is fun, but it's not fun for my wallet. I better win these bets. Okay. Let's go. You guys ready? Oh, that first game has already kicked off. What has happened between the Anaheim Duck and the Minnesota Wild? It is 0-0. It just kicked off, you guys. In this one, if you want to live bet it, I took the Wild's team total over 3.5. Juice so at -130. The next game on the board, the Montreal Canadiens and the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to take the Canadiens here on that puck line +1.5 and sprinkle on that money line at +195. I think the best bet here is to take the Montreal Canadiens team total over 2.5. We're paying a little bit at -110. And the over 6.5 for this game. So for the parlay reasons, I'm going to throw Montreal's team total over 2.5. But my favorite bets are It's that plus money at plus 195 for the Montreal Canadiens. Go big or go home on this beautiful Saturday, you guys. Yeah. I won't be saying that if all these bets lose, but I'm saying it right now. Yeah, Danny, this is what I do full time. I don't think I'd have enough time to do anything else if I just didn't do this. Okay. You are so welcome. Okay. The Colorado Avalanche and the Boston Bruins. These teams play again Wednesday. I really think Boston takes the win here, but at minus 170, I cannot get behind them. Both of these teams to score in the first period at plus 162 is my favorite bet here. We had both teams to score last night. Which game was it? And the one team scored twice. Thought at first we hit it, but we didn't. But both teams to score. First period, plus 162 between the Colorado Avalanche and the Boston Bruins. But I do lean to that under, as I think these goals come fast in that first period and then just kind of disappear. I'm leaving this one out of the long parlay. I just don't want to put something. Actually, we can just throw Boston on the money line for the parlay, because at minus 170, I can throw that into a parlay. I do think they get this win, and the Avs probably get the win at home on Wednesday. The New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm going to take the Flyers plus 1.5 here at minus 132. I just can't trust the Devils in Philadelphia, but I think this, for the Flyers to do this, has to be a higher scoring game, because we know the Devils are going to bring the heat. We've been cashing on them over 3.5 goals per game. How many this season? Has anyone looked at that? If you just rode them over 3.5 goals in every single game, have we cashed and made money? Because it's always been really good odds on that bet. So I think this is a higher scoring game. I'm going to take for the parlay the over. I'll take the over for the parlay. I'll bite on the over 6 for the Flyers and Devils, because we all know if the Devils could come out here, Carter Hart could have a terrible day and the Devils could get 6 goals themselves. So when we have a team that we know is so strong and able to get these goals, I can't fade them here. And that over. I can, though, take the Flyers to keep it tight in a miracle game for them. The San Jose Sharks and the Ottawa Senators, you guys, I love the Senators here today, rolling big time with them. You can grab them on the money line at minus 138. I'm grabbing them hard on that puck line at minus 1.5 at plus 180. Look for momentum to follow this team. Yes, they traveled last night. Yes, they're off a hard win. I think it ignites this team. Brady Tkachuk got his 300th career goal last night. Look for him to get another. Look for him to keep rolling. The Sharks just have their spots they can win at. I don't think this is one of them. They have not covered the puck line in their last 7 games in Ottawa. So for the parlay, give me the Sens on the money line. But you guys know my favorite bet of this game is on that puck line, minus 1.5 at plus 180. The next game on the board, the St. Louis Blues and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Got to take the Blues in the first period to come out strong. We know this team comes out of the gate, gets these goals, and then just disappears on that ice. I don't even know what happens to them. Their defense lets them down. Their goaltending lets them down. Offensively, they aren't able to score. They just fall apart. If they could play a 1-period game, the Blues probably would be the best team overall. Well, they wouldn't be the best, but you know what I mean. They come out strong and they don't finish it at all. There's no value here on the Blues on that puck line, but we haven't seen the Pittsburgh Penguins blowing teams out. So for parlay reasons, I'm going to take the Blues on the puck line, plus that 1.5, and just for the parlay. Don't bet that straight up because you're getting no value at all there. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, this is a tricky game. I think even with top goaltending, with this number sitting at 6, I got to hit it to the over. We know how explosive both of these offenses can be. And that's what I'm counting on this one. I'm counting on the fact also Maple Leafs have been winning these games. It's hard for them to keep up this winning streak. It really is. So I'm counting on the Lightning to get these goals. I'm also counting on the Maple Leafs to get these goals and for their defense to take a little bit of a break in this game. Can they just give us a bit of a break so we can hit this over 6? So that's where I'm going with this one. I'm going to take the Leafs and the Lightning for the parlay over 6. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Detroit Red Wings. Give me Vegas all day long on the money line. Give me them twice here on the puck line at -1.5. What value is that right now, you guys? I love Vegas tonight. This team hasn't been stepping up offensively. Really needs to get things done versus the Red Wings. At -1.5, they are +160 at that -1.5. Now, you guys, we were getting a little bit more value earlier this morning, but I still absolutely love it here. The Red Wings just have not been playing strong, especially coming into this one off of overtime. It's not a good situation for them. Okay, the next one on the board. Oh, so for the parlay reasons, I'll just put Vegas on the money line. The money line is sitting right around that -150. You guys, make sure you go over to Betstamp. Like I said, shop those lines and get your best value. And Joe, yes, I will bookmark these games. I wish I would write when I'm doing the show because I have to go watch myself. Do you know how weird it is watching yourself talk? And then you sit there and correct yourself. So I will bookmark these games right after. Just give me that 15 minutes it takes to get it done. The Chicago Blackhawks and the New York Rangers. Got a ride again. I tell you, people aren't going to love it with the Blackhawks +1.5, -118. I could see a reason to sprinkle here. I keep thinking more and more about sprinkling on this game. I told you guys, I don't know if they win it, but New York did have such a hard loss last night to the Ottawa Senators. I can see the Blackhawks rolling in here. I also look at the money and where the public's at. Everyone and their grandmother is rolling with the New York Rangers here at home in the Garden. The New York Rangers at home in the Garden are hard to beat, but they're beatable at home. So they are 3-10 on that puck line at home. Don't forget that. Great reason for the Blackhawks here, +1.5. I'll take the Blackhawks +1.5 for the parlay and hope they don't let me down. I'm also going to sprinkle on that money line because I'm a degenerate and I want that +205, and I'll kick myself. So that is going to be a good one there. I just look with Halleck expected and this team tired from last night. They went home. They had to go home to their families. Ottawa went home to their families too, but I tell you, I don't know. I don't trust New York today. The Arizona Coyotes and the Vancouver Canucks. This is one where I rarely take Vancouver to win big. I think they do come out and win this one big. I lean on them laying the 1.5 at +114 on that puck line, but I think a stronger way to take this is to take the over 6. My only concern here is if Spencer Martin plays an absolutely phenomenal game and the Arizona Coyotes can't score in this one. So not my favorite game. Gonna leave it out of the parlay, but if you are a Vancouver fan, I would be betting your team to win this one big at home. The Florida Panthers and the Seattle Kraken. This is one I've got to look at the goalie props for. Spencer Knight and Martin Jones. Let's see if we've got anything up there. It's going to be a good game. I think you look at both of these goalies. Two have phenomenal ones. We do have some goalie props. Ooh, we've got Grubauer in now. Okay. I feel good about that. I feel even better about Grubauer coming in. We have Spencer Knight. Let me just write it down. I am a very visual person for myself when I do my bets. Writing my numbers down on a piece of paper really helps me. Okay, so Spencer Knight is coming in here. His save shots on goal is 27.5. Juice to that under at 122. When we look, oops, wrong button. When we look at Spencer Knight, he has a 2.74 goals against average. The defense of the Florida Panthers is holding opponents to 31.7 shots on goal. And the Seattle Kraken just aren't getting those shots at 29.5. 27.5. This is a really tight number. I don't like the under minus 122. The only way I could take this would be to take it over. I think Seattle, if they have a chance of winning this one, have to play more aggressively, offensively. They are getting those 3.82 goals per game. I would lean on Spencer Knight at 27.5, but this number is so on point that it does worry me a little bit. We could just hit that 26 in this one. Let's look at the other prop here for Grubauer. Philip Grubauer, I haven't looked at the number here. I want to say it comes in at 29. It's coming in at 28.5 at minus 118 to the over. I'm going to take Grubauer over this. I'm really happy to see it didn't come in at 29. At 28.5 for Grubauer, I love him saving over that. We look at the Florida Panthers. They are averaging 39.4 shots on goal. They are going to be firing on him. Grubauer is going to have to stand on his head, and we know he can. That is my favorite prop of this game, is to take Grubauer's shots on goal over 28.5. Hang on, what was the juice on that? Minus 118 I'm getting on my book. Again, shop those lines. You might be able to get better value out there, and please do, if you can, check out Betstamp. Use referral code. It's Madden. Madden. Okay, Grubauer, I love. For parlay reasons, leaving this game out. The next game on the board, if I can find it. My phone is going crazy. The next game on the board, we have the Washington Capitals taking on the Calgary Flames. I'm going to put the under 6 in this one. I really hope Calgary can pull out the win here. I just don't know if I trust in them enough. I think we've got strong goaltending in this one. Now, Dan Vladar, we took his save shots on goals coming in at 25.5. We know the Washington Capitals are averaging 30.1 shots on goal, and Calgary is allowing that 28.7. I am going to hit his over on his save shots for this one as well. I think it's a strong way to go. I think Dan Vladar is a better goalie, and I hate to say it, than Jacob Markstrom. Something's in Jacob Markstrom's head this season. I don't know if it's how last season ended with the playoffs, if he's just almost looking for a hero effect for when he plays these games, looking for people to give him kind of like a standing ovation. And it's weird to say, but he's making plays that he shouldn't be. And if those plays worked out, he would be a hero. But because they're not working out, then people are remembering the bad calls that he made. The one that sticks out in my head so much is when the puck was going along the boards, he went behind the net to try to stop it from going right to Connor McDavid. Well, the problem is he wasn't able to stop that. Then he wasn't able to get back in the net and set up in time for that shot, and Connor McDavid scored. He's taking these chances that he shouldn't be taking, that if they worked, like if that one worked, it would have been phenomenal because Edmonton wouldn't have scored in that situation. So Jacob Markstrom needs to settle down, just get back to playing the game, and he'll be fine. It's just the start of this season. I think he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders. Last but not least, you guys, we have, that was Calgary. Helps if I write down for my recap which one that was. The Carolina Hurricanes and the LA Kings. I'm going to ride with the home dog here of the Kings. They need to turn things back around and get things rolling for us. So I'm going to take the Kings over the Hurricanes and just hold my breath in this one. I think if the Kings are to win, it has to be in a lower scoring game. So you can hit the under 6 if you like. The defense of the Canes is just so phenomenally strong. They will limit the Kings' ability to get these shots on goal. The Kings will just have to connect at every opportunity they have. And we know the Canes are getting these shots but not connecting. So kind of opposite situations here. But I'm trusting in Jonathan Quick to stand on his head. If Jonathan Quick doesn't stand on his head and the Canes get 4 goals in this one, it might be the last time I'm sitting here talking highly about Jonathan Quick. Let's recap here, you guys. I'm going to take for the parlay the Montreal Canadiens team total over 2.5, the Boston Bruins on the money line, the over between the Flyers and the Devils, the Sens on the money line, the Blues in the... Or no, we're going to take them on the puck line. I was like, why am I taking the puck line for the full game? Not full game. Full game. I like the money line first period. So the Blues plus 1.5 for the full game. The Leafs and the Lightning over 6. Vegas on the money line. The Blackhawks plus 1.5 on the puck line. The under between Calgary and Washington, and the Kings on the money line. You guys, I am off to watch some hockey, watch some football. The Wild and the Ducks are 1-1 apiece in that first period with 7 minutes left. We're riding the Wild's team total over 3.5. So let's look for them to keep going and keep scoring. I want to wish you guys all the best in all of your bets. Thank you so much for joining me here on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere that you guys are joining me. I will bookmark these shows. I promise. Do me a favor. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I'm off to bookmark. I'm off to drink coffee. I hope you guys have an absolutely beautiful day. Thank you so much. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Don't forget, got games on the board tomorrow. How many do we have tomorrow? This will depend on what time I get up. We have 5 games only on the board tomorrow. So the show will be kicking off before that first game kicks off. First game's at 3 o'clock Eastern. Expect the show to kick off at the same time tomorrow, which was, what was it? 11:30 my time, 1:30 Eastern. See you back here at 1:30 Eastern tomorrow, you guys. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me.